Hey team, Erica with Nitty Gritty Science here, and I just wrapped up a product which I think is so simple yet so effective. Your students are going to master chemical equations and type of chemical reactions. So what I have for you is I've made a whole bunch of pieces that you can use on a whiteboard for large group instruction or take them back into lab tables. You can see the pieces are nice and large that the students can interact and manipulate. And we want to use over these 30 pieces for the students to start practicing reading chemical equations, understanding chemical equations, knowing the parts of them, what is happening, if they can tell me what is getting reacted, what is getting produced, what are the states of matter, and identifying all the parts. So let me show you everything that we have for that. So again, right away, we want to be able to have the students know what pieces add together. So we have plus signs in there. We're going to have the arrow signs, and all the pieces are either going to be just symbol or they're also going to have words on the bottom. So you decide which one you want to use for your students. So they'll be able to put those pieces on there. Just use a sticky magnetic strip or double-sided tape to add these, and they'll stick up and they'll be able to be used again and again. So again, we have these pieces right here. The next thing we want maybe students to do are the types of matter. So right now we know that the students would be able to identify water in its liquid form. So we'd have to work backwards and maybe say, all right, oxygen, walk them through it, and they would all identify that it would be the gas, and same with the hydrogen gas. And so this could start a conversation. Well, how do two things that make gas form something that's liquid? So again, we're helping them understand. You're starting those discussions, and that's where the states of matter come in. So when they start looking at this and we know that these two items produce this, we want to start using those terms, and we want to start using reactants. We want them to start using the terms products, because that's what gets produced. So we have them put these pieces up on the board so they understand that everything on this side of the equation are going to be the reactants. Here is what is produced with the products. So not only do we have the states of matter, we know what is produced, the reactants, and that we also want them to start understanding what is happening in each of the molecules and how much there is, because once they start understanding that, when we start moving into balancing equations next, starts becoming a breeze because they can break down all those pieces. So we are able to have the pieces where they can identify the coefficients easily, and they have practice doing that. And a fun thing to do is take the pieces and put all the pieces up on the board, maybe with a chemical equation, but scramble the pieces. And the students in the groups need to work through and make sure that they're all in the correct spot. They have to unscramble and have another group correct them to see if they're doing it right. So we're having all these pieces, and again, we have multiple pieces because I know that a lot of the equations have more than one subscript, more than one coefficient. If you need a plus sign, so there are multiple pieces, and they're in color and black and white as well, in case you want to print the black and white on colored paper to make that the more visual piece for you. Now, I said not only do we break down the chemical equations, but we can also identify what type of reaction is happening. So we have those pieces as well with single displacement, double displacement. We have synthesis, decomposition. We want students to understand that if A plus B gives me AB, that they will be able to identify, hopefully, that this is a synthesis reaction. We have the labels for all the types of reaction, and I color-coded so that way all the A's are red, the B's are blue, the C's are green, the D's are yellow, so the students start seeing the pattern, especially in the single and the double displacement when they start swapping places. So there you have it. I think the students are really going to like manipulating these pieces. I think they are going to find that when they start using them and breaking down the chemical equations using the pieces, you'll find it will be easier for them to go maybe from a chemical equation like this and have them explain it out in sentence structure for you, or you give them the sentence structure of what is happening in the chemical equation and have them create the chemical equation for you. And so there are a lot of possibilities with this. Go ahead and find different chemical equations in any of the Nitty Gritty Science products in the chemical equation chapter, as well as test quizzes, mini quizzes, interactive notebooks. And then if you're look elsewhere, look online for a whole bunch of chemical equations you can practice with, in textbooks, anywhere you can lift those and practice on the board with those. So I hope that helps explain the product. You see it's nice and large, easy to use for the students, easy to put together. Just print, cut, and laminate, and it is ready to go. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.